What's happening, guys? Okay, we're off again. I think this is the start of a new episode. Just leaving Murtho, and I was going to go into the woolshed, but I've heard it's shut on Mondays and Tuesdays, and it's Monday today. I've been there before, not that exciting, so I think I'm going to head up to Chowila, get a spot up there, maybe stay there a day or two so I can do a bit of filming and make a few phone calls. We went for a drive yesterday to customer's house, and I don't know, the lady was saying that you can't cross the border in a houseboat, so I don't know, I suppose she knows what she's talking about, but from what I've been looking up in Google, it should be okay. I've got my permit to go to Mildura, and I don't think you need one to get into New South Wales because it's a green zone, but I'll be ringing up Lock 6 today, get some info, and maybe Renmark Police, maybe the Mildura Police, and just find out what's happening with all of that stuff. Hopefully I can get through. If not, that might be the end of the trip for now and we turn around and start heading home, but I'm pretty sure I should be able to get through, and especially with Adelaide or South Australian border supposed to be opening on the 23rd of November, so in about 3 weeks time. But that's enough of me talking rubbish. Let's turn the camera around and show you what I'm looking at. And yeah, Chowila, about 20 k's from here, so just a nice 4.5 hour trip on this bloody brilliant day. And it's good to have a few relaxing days after a hectic weekend with Gavin and Annie. But thanks for coming up, guys. It was a great weekend, great to catch up with you, and we'll now turn the camera around and show you what I'm looking at. So just getting to the end of Headings Cliffs, heading upstream, and I don't know if you can see it, but the water really starts rushing around these sharp bends. Hopefully you can sort of see it over there in the distance, and when you get there in the boat, it's not too bad, but you can really feel it try to push the boat around a little bit. As it is at the moment, it's taking me to the right, so I'm going sharp left. And as always with all these corners, if you're in a houseboat, try and keep to the outside. If there's going to be any sandbars, they're usually across on the inside of the corner, so if you haven't got a map or you're not reading it, the best idea, keep to the outside on any of the turns. And there we are, the 600 kilometre mark of this crazy journey. Getting a little bit of traffic on the river. So this is what they call Dick's Cutting. So the main river turns around sharp to the left. Straight ahead is where the river used to go. I don't know, probably 100 years ago that was the main bit, until it decided to want to do a shorter cut through here. And about a kilometre down we have the Woolshed Brewery, big sign on the shed there. Now I was going to go down there, but I've found out that it's shut on Mondays and Tuesdays, and it's going to take me an hour or so to get there and back, and it's shut. But if you get a chance, call in. It's an old, well, it's a newish brewery, and I think it's in a, sorry, I'm just trying to steer here at the same time. It's in an old shearing shed. They built, made it into a bit of a restaurant and a bar and a brewery. I've been there probably 5 or 6 years ago in a houseboat, and plenty of room to moor up down the bottom, but unfortunately we're going to give it a miss today. If it was open and it was a bit later in the day, I would have gone and stayed the night, but it's only about 10:30 in the morning, so we're going to turn left and start heading somewhere up near Chowilla Creek. I want to get up there for the night, so that's probably only about another 2 hours away, so we'll head that way. So just coming up into Chowila country now, out to the left there, Chowilla station. although I think they call it now Chowilla Game Reserve. Yeah, still a beautiful day. Depth of the water up here in the middle of the river about 17 feet. I've got no, oh, that's a goanna crossing the river. And this is the famous Chowilla homestead. And this is the famous Chowilla Woolshed, or shearing shed. Okay, so we managed to find this little spot just at the Chowilla Woolshed. Just going to stay here for an hour or so while we have a bit of a film, and then we'll head off upstream and find a spot near Chowilla Creek. So back there you got the shearers' quarters, and this is the famous shearing shed. Might be a bit dark in here, but all the pens there, and this is where they would have, well, they've still got the old motor there, and the grinders for sharpening up their shears, and there probably would have been 8 or 10 shearers all lined up down along here. They must still do a couple of demos here every now and again. Great bit of South Australian history. So this is the shearing quarters, and they're actually just getting cleaned out now. People come and stay in them. Come around the front here where it faces out towards the beautiful river. We'll sneak in and check one out. Little bunk bed and a single bed. Okay guys, time for another canoe trip. We're at Chowilla Creek, and well, nearly there, about 100 metres upstream. I've got a paddle and we'll go and check it out. There is an old fishing hut there I've heard about that I want to see if I can find, so I've got the current taking me, so let's get paddling. So over to the right there is the Murray River heading upstream, and out to the left is Chowilla Creek, and that looks like it must be the old fishing hut up there. See if I can pull up somewhere and go and check it out. So this is the old fishing hut, and from what I read, people just leave stuff like an old fishing rod there, making sure there's no snakes around. But I think people leave notes in here. If I can see in there, see if anyone's left any notes. So there you go. Relatives and stuff leaving notes, I think, and just people passing through. Pretty cool. So we'll put the lid back on this and put it back in the old fridge. So this is one of those places that a guy called Possum would have travelled to. I'll do probably a separate video on him, but it's a great book called Possum, just about a recluse shearer back in the early, I don't know, 1900s. And yeah, he used to just travel up and down the river helping a few farmers out, but I'll talk about him in another video. Looking out over Chowilla Creek. So that was Chowilla Creek. We're actually just coming out of Chowilla Creek now, hitting a T-junction with the River Murray. Straight ahead, downstream to the right, and obviously left is upstream. Good morning, guys, and we're off again, just going past Chowilla Creek, heading to Lock 6. I haven't rung them up yet, couldn't get through before, or last night, so we'll get upstream a bit. I think we're about 6k's, 8k's from the lock. Hopefully I'll get a bit better reception. But we'll head up there and then to Customs House, fill up with some fuel, and then hopefully get a couple of hours past Customs House for today. And it's Melbourne Cup Day, so hopefully I'll get to listen to the race. But we'll turn the camera around and show you what I'm looking at. So another beautiful morning so far. I'm not too sure what the weather's doing today. Couldn't get any internet to see what was happening. I think it's okay for the next few days though. And over there you've got Chowilla Creek, little sign telling you to stay to the right for the River Murray. I'm not quite sure what this is called. I think it's Bunyip Bend or something like that. It does say in the navigation book that the PS Bunyip sank near here, and there's some grave sites up to the right of a few passengers that died when it sank. So we're at the 617 kilometre mark, and you've got this section here which is clearly marked in the navigation books where you've got to keep right over to the right hand side heading upstream, and it goes for probably about 1 kilometre. Looks like it's got sort of the older markers in the distance, and they've put these new floating ones up, making you stay a little bit wider. But with the water up, and I don't think there's too much trouble. I could probably go straight through the middle with Gilligan. Depth here is showing about 13 feet. And here we are heading up to lock number 6. Had a bit of trouble with the phone, so I'm hoping he heard me. So still waiting for the gates to open. Getting ready to do a sharp U-turn if they don't. Okay, there's Warren at lock number 6. Thanks a lot, mate. Catch you later. And there we go, through lock 6. And Warren said no trouble going upstream. So we'll head up to Wentworth. I've got my border pass for Victoria when I get to Mildura, so we're just going to keep going, see what happens. Looks like we got another goanna crossing the river. Or it's a bloody big snake. Oops, goanna getting a bit of a paddle up. Okay, we got traffic ahead. We got 2 emus this time. I don't know what to do. I better slow down. Slow down a little bit and I'll turn to the right. Keep going, guys. I'm turning. Oops, no, they're going the other way. Oh, sorry, guys. Oops. Okay, guys. We're going to end the video here. We're at Customs House. It's actually shut. It's got a sign up closed, so I don't know how long for. It is Melbourne Cup Day. Maybe they've gone out for lunch. Hopefully they're here tomorrow, so I'm going to have to stay the night. Bucket up my plans a little bit, but as they say, no hurry on the Murray. I know a few of their hire boats are out. I passed them, so they've got to be back eventually. So we'll see what happens in the morning. Hopefully they're back and open at 9 o'clock in the morning. I can get some fuel and we can continue the adventure. But I'll just pan around and show you Customs House. So that's Customs House up there. It's got a little store, but looking at it through the window, it's got bugger all supplies in there. I think the main thing is the fuel. Got some fuel pumps there on the bank. Hire boats. But that's going to end this video, guys. Don't forget, subscribe, like, press the thumbs up button, leave a comment, and we will catch you next week when we leave Customs House and start heading towards Wentworth.